On the front here we have two USB-C ports, but if you move it onto this side here, it turns into a console. This looks like a chunky arcade stick at first glance, but no my friends, don't be fooled, because hidden inside is a 16-bit Neo Geo console, preloaded with 20 of the best fighting games out there. This is a Neo Geo Arcade Stick Pro. Is it still good now years after release? Keep watching as I find out, and also for a hidden secret contained within. Hey guys, welcome to Intriguing Tech. Today I'll be taking a look at this, and it's an arcade stick and a console all in one. Now this particular unit belongs to a friend of mine, so shout outs to Luis Vigo. Anyway, let's have a closer look at the box. So the back of the box is here, and let's see what the contents are. These are the contents. As you can see, there's no power adapter included in it, which says you have to have your own, which is 5 volts 1 amp, as you can see there. And these are the games that are supported on it. They're mostly fighting games, as you'd expect from this, because it is an arcade stick. But as you can see, King of Fighters is quite dominant there. There's 6 versions of King of Fighters included. Like I said, this unit is used, so things might be missing. Now we've just got the Neo Geo branded USB-C cable here. Oh, it's Type A to Type C, and I did try it earlier on, and it would only work from A to C, it wouldn't work from C to C. Little history of the Neo Geo. The Neo Geo console was released in 1990 for $650, and the games cost over a whopping $200 each. It was basically arcade hardware you could own at home, which is why it cost that much. SNK made games in 2 cartridge formats: MVS, Multi-Video System, for arcades, and AES, Advanced Entertainment System, for the homes. Same games, same hardware, just different form factors. It was way ahead of its time, and it built one of the most passionate cult followings in gaming history. Right, let's take a look at the joystick now. Now the joystick, it feels okay, it's usable, nice and clicky, and the buttons are okay-ish. Obviously you can tell it's not somewhere quality, it's a bit mushy. Same goes for the buttons as well. If anything, I'd change the buttons. I always change the buttons first. Right, let's take a closer look at the arcade stick itself now. At the front here we have 2 USB-C ports. Basically these are for connecting your own controllers in, and we have an headphone port as well. Why you'd connect them, I don't know, because you've got a nice arcade stick here in front of you with 8 buttons. Anyway, let's take a close look at the bottom. We have the rubber feet, which is nice to see. They have already been installed by the previous owner. And we have a little portal here which you can remove the rubber from, which exposes the arcade stick at the bottom of it. You put a screwdriver in there and you can change the bolt top on the other end here. And we have, I believe this holds the cable in it. And there is the cable. It is USB-C but with an adapter. I'll put what length it is on the screen. Now on the other side here we have a USB-C port which is for power, and then we have the HDMI port, which is a full HDMI port, and a USB-A socket for expansion. On the side here we have a turbo button, Basically, you can convert any of the front buttons to turbo fire. And then we have the options button, select button and start button, self-explanatory. And then we have these two switches here. The top switch basically allows it to operate into joystick mode. So you just plug it in and it's a joystick on your PC or computer. But if you move it onto this side here, it turns into a console. And that's where you have to supply power to it and connect it to a HDMI port on your display and turn it into a console. And then we have the 1, 2 and 3 button. I'm not sure what that is. I'll put something on the screen when I find out what that does. Oh, and we have 2 buttons here as well which light up. Overall, I'd say it's a little bit heavier than the 8-bit do stick and a little bit more solid as well, but not as good as the Capcom Home Arcade stick because that had somewhere parts in it. Right, I think it's time to hook this up to the capture card and play on it and see what's what. See you there. Okay guys, before I get into the menu, don't forget to subscribe and keep watching for some secret which I'm going to reveal later on. Okay, here I am. I've loaded up now and we're into the system menu. As you can see, the games list is here, and we have King of Fighters 95 there, and then we've got 97. Interestingly, King of Fighters 96 is not there. Then we've got 98, 99, King of Fighters 2000 and 2002. We're also missing King of Fighters 2001. Then we come across Fatal Fury Special, Fatal Fury 3, Garou Mark of the Wolves, Samurai Shodown 2, Samurai Shodown 3, Samurai Shodown 4, Samurai Shodown 5 Special, Art of Fighting, World Heroes 2, World Heroes 2 Jet, World Heroes Perfect, Ninja Masters, The Last Blade 2, Kizuna Encounter. Those are the 20 games included. Now over here, when you hit this question mark on the menu, you've got a manual included, which is a nice touch. And have a look there. Okay, let's return there, and now here is the configuration. Let's have a look at the options, and we have the languages. Those are the languages you can change to. We've got Chinese, English and Korean and Japanese. And the screen size, so we've got 4:3 aspect ratio there and widescreen. I'm not sure what this one does. If anybody knows, leave a comment below. And then let's have a look at the quality. These are typical shader effects and stuff like that. And we've got smooth scaling effect, pixel scaling, and then we've got scanlines. Transverse is basically just horizontal scanlines. These longitudinal scanline is just vertical scanlines, and then we've got 45-degree scanlines. I'm not impressed by any of these effects, including here. They could have done them a lot better. Then we have the system version number, which is 1.3a. It's time to play some games. Let's start with King of Fighters 98 because it's one of my favourites. It is using emulation, but it's pretty accurate to the arcade from what I can remember. I think I prefer a Seimitsu joystick for KOF games, and this joystick feels close to a Sanwa. Okay, now I've loaded up King of Fighters 97, and one nice feature about this Neo Geo Arcade Stick Pro is that it's got save states, which is very useful on King of Fighters 97 because the codes to enter some of the hidden characters are very long and tedious. And as you can see, I've already saved the hidden characters up, and I'm going to load them now. And here we are.
Are you ready? Round 1. Ready, go!
Orochi Yori was pretty broken in this game. You could cheap out the computer and human players by spamming the same move over and over again.
KO! Round 1. Fight!
This is Guru Mark of the Wolves. It's one game I haven't played much of. It wasn't as popular as King of Fighters back in the day, but it has a growing fan base now.
KO!
I forgot how hard SNK bosses were. 3 hits and you're dead from Mr. Karate. I had to cheap him out here. And he's dead. That's right, Oni-chan. Stop. Don't kill him. Last Blade 2 has some great animation and comes as a pretty big ROM. Nice to see the blood effects are not censored. Focusing on timing, counters and weapon-based combat, The Last Blade 2 rewards skill and patience. Right guys, onto the thing I was teasing about earlier. Go onto this website here and you click on this link and you have a nice surprise. You can unlock 20 additional games, all for free. Basically, you download each individual file here onto a USB FAT32 drive and you create a folder called CD key in the root of it and put them in there. Here's one I prepared earlier. And there's also a nice PDF file explaining what you have to do. You plug the USB flash drive in its USB port here, and then you go into the menu to unlock it. So I think we should do that now. As you can see, my USB stick has been detected there on the bottom right hand corner. So we go to the configuration menu here and we go to system. Let's have a click on unlock. And we have success. As you can see, there's 40 games now, so we'll skip past the first 20. We have Fatal Fury 1, 2, League Bowling, Metal Slug 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and X. Ninja Combat, Real Bout Fatal Fury Special, Samurai Showdown, Savage Rain, Shock Troopers 1 and 2, Soccer Brawl, Super Sidekicks, The Last Blade, Art of Fighting 3, and The Super Spy. I think that's quite a good selection of games that you get for free. This is Metal Slug 3 and it's one of the largest games by ROM size. Nice to see it runs without problems. Metal Slug 3 was a very popular game when it was released. Don't you just love the incredible hand-drawn animations? Finally, we have Real Bout Fatal Fury Special, released in 1997. Realbot Special is the second game in the Realbot sub-series. The developers ignored the timeline to bring back fan favourite characters. Did you know there's hidden EX characters as well? And here we are, we have the Neo Geo Stick Pro opened up, and this particular unit is my own. Reason why I didn't use it was because these 4 buttons have been disabled. This is how it came, and I intend to swap them out for somewhere parts. As you can see, these are just generic buttons. And here we have the PCB. It's been covered up by this shielding here, so nothing too interesting visible. We have another board here as well, which is for the USB-C sockets. And then we have the joystick here. Interestingly, it has extra mounting holes here for a different joystick, for example a Samurai. Other than that, fairly bare bones inside. And this is the other half of the console. It has a metal plate to add some weight. And here are the Samurai buttons installed. Now onto some news that was recently announced. If you're looking for the ultimate Neo Geo experience, keep an eye on the Neo Geo AES Plus from Plaion. Releasing this November for a relatively low price, it's a hardware faithful recreation of the original console that uses re-engineered ASIC chips rather than software emulation that this Neo Geo Arcade Stick Pro uses. That means you'll be able to use your original cartridges with low latency arcade performance for a true authentic experience. I'll leave links in the description below for you to check it out. And it's nice to see they have the original controller included in the package. And it's also launching with 10 original games. Time to wrap things up. Overall, the Neo Geo Arcade Stick Pro really held its own. As someone who grew up playing on original arcade hardware, I was impressed by the software emulation. It felt remarkably accurate for a 36-year-old system. My only real gripe was the button layout. Having the start button on the side instead of the top makes entering cheat codes a bit of a hassle, and sometimes you can enter the system menu by mistake while fumbling for various buttons. But overall, it's a solid unit. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the review, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers for now.